Greetings, I am the Soviet Warlord, and today I am bringing you another episode of Stakhanov's Builds. In this episode, I'll be covering the Skana. The Skana is the first melee weapon you ever own, and is available as soon as the tutorial is finished. Strangely, even being a starting weapon, alongside the MK1 Brayton rifle and the Lato pistol, in order to reacquire this weapon should you have lost it at any point, you will need to pay 150 platinum, a hefty amount for a starting weapon, or purchase the blueprint for 15,000 credits, and then expend an additional 15,000 credits, 3 morphics, 750 salvage, 500 plastids, and 1,100 alloy plates. The heavy cost for such a starting weapon is still unexplained to this day. The Skana requires no mastery rank to use. This weapon's base stats shouldn't surprise you, clocking in at 3.8 impact per swing, making it very bad, 3.8 puncture, and, as a sword would suggest, 17.5 slash. However, these are more of a rough guideline, as the Skana becomes useless in a hurry after the beginner's game, so taking down anything in the beginner's game, regardless of stats, shouldn't be too much of a problem. It has 75 damage per charged attack, and it charges up quite sprightly at 0.7 seconds. Although poor in critical hit chance, it does feature 10% status proc chance, an interesting addition to a tutorial weapon. Since the only thing that sticks out with regards to the Skana is its charge attack and charge speed, we will be capitalising on that where possible, while combining it with a mix of speed and dexterity to create a fast moving berserker style build. Although the Skana has pretty much no endgame potential, or even mid-game potential, we can still make it work. So onto our mods. Since charge damage is our focus here, my first mod choice is Killing Blow. With a straight, no questions asked boost to your charge damage of 150%, it's a very effective and a necessary boost to get us started and give us a base for which to construct on for this weapon. With our damage amped up, we now need to increase the output to which we can dish the punishment out. A reflex coil here gives us a two-sided benefit, reducing the time it takes by 60% to reach your maximum power, and also helping to mitigate the effects of my next mod recommendation. With our gap between each charge addressed, it's time to get heavy-handed. Corrupt Charge further adds to our close-up high-hitting potential. We now have our charge damage brought up to 2.5 times the base, and with the effective reflex coil working in tandem, the 28% reduction to our charge time is softened greatly. Having this massive amount of damage and a quick charge will allow us to dispatch medium level foes very quickly. Although 250% extra charge damage is a great addition to our offensive game, there is still improvement to be had. We bring that improvement into play here with Rending Strike, which gives us 2 benefits. An even further boost to our charge damage, topping it up further for a 310% total, a staggering quadruple the initial 75 damage that we started with, and then granting more puncture damage. And while no melee weapon is built for puncture, it's a very nice benefit to have in the long run. The next mod may be somewhat unusual, but since the Skana is a sword for constant movement and overwhelmingly fast strikes on your enemies, it's important that you have the means to keep doing so. Second Wind, therefore, is the perfect choice. Even the heaviest frames like Rhino and Frost can keep moving when this mod is maxed out to its full potential. With a profit of stamina per kill, should you take them out in one swing, you'll be unbeatable and will run circles around your foes like the Grineer. Even the Infested will not be able to keep up with you, especially if you run a Vanguard on your Rhino. Next, we acquire another double-edged benefit mod. Although elemental damage does very little to this build, the proc chance in combination with this mod can come in handy actually, if you find yourself out of your depth occasionally on your way to training this sword. Focus Energy decreases the time it takes to charge up the Skana by another 40%, further mitigating the penalty brought about by Corrupt Charge. The 60% electrical damage simply allows for chain lightning when and where your proc chance allows, should you be outnumbered at any point. This is very useful, and you'll be surprised how many times it can save your life. For my 7th choice, we acquire a very minute but arguably necessary benefit, coming in the form of Fury. Fury increases your attack speed by 60%. Although charge attacks are your speciality, the swing from the charge attack benefits very slightly, and it decreases the recovery time to the next charge by a very small degree, but it makes it just useful enough to recommend it for this build. Besides, the delay between each charge attack means you're not putting damage on your target. The better we can mitigate that little gap, the more damage you can do, the better off you'll be. Finally, another very strange choice, but it comes with the idea that you are running the Skana with a WarFrame armed with Reflex Guard and Parry. Parry can knock an enemy to the floor. Finishing Touch ensures that they do not get back up again. Fury also means that the finisher is done very swiftly, and that you can get back to dicing up your enemies quickly. That's my build, constructed with speed, aggression and damage as my main concerns and the primary goal, while making the role of this weapon accessible for any frame, be it light like Ash or heavy like Rhino. This build is a very potent one. Use it to kill lower level enemies and progress up the ranks. I wouldn't recommend using this weapon for too long, but it's a nice one to have in your arsenal. Unusually for Stakhanov's builds, this weapon only requires one former in order to reach its maximum potential. For one former, even the Skana becomes a weapon you can afford to do that with. Keep it in your backup. The Skana is a very nice sword to have. If you can look over the fact that it's a beginner's weapon and it hasn't got that much potential, it's a very fun weapon to run. Use it well, as they say, before all other weapons. Tenno, master the Skana. This simple blade becomes immensely powerful in the hands of a master. For Tenno, it is a foundation of their fighting style and a pillar of their culture. So make it a pillar of yours too. I am the Soviet Warlord, and this has been an episode of Stakhanov's Builds. Join me again next time and I'll be covering another weapon. For now, peace out.